Say goodbye to the Series 3. The 2022 Apple Watch SE is now the cheapest smartwatch in Apple's lineup. The second-gen SE starts at $249 and replaces the $279 original model as well as the $199 Series 3. The new Apple Watch SE's upgrades are modest rather than dramatic, but they should keep the watch feeling fast and relevant for years to come. Such changes include a new processor that matches the one inside the $400 Series 8, crash detection, and a new tweaked design. You'll also get new features that are coming to certain other Apple Watch models, like low power mode for extending battery life, and a new version of the Compass app to help you retrace your steps. At $249, the Apple Watch SE is the best option for those who just want a smartwatch for tasks like reading iPhone notifications, tracking workouts, logging sleep, and using Apple Pay from your wrist. Much like the iPhone SE, the Apple Watch SE offers the basics along with Apple's newest processor at a more palatable price than its flagship counterpart. And if you want cellular connectivity, you only have to pay $50 extra for the LTE-enabled version, unlike the cellular Series 8, which costs $100 more than the GPS-only version. The Apple Watch SE is a versatile and relatively affordable smartwatch, but it's missing one feature I would have loved to see at this price: the always-on display. There also aren't many new features that are exclusive to the SE, which might make a tough case for upgrading. The Apple Watch SE is best for people who are buying an Apple Watch for the first time or are upgrading from a Series 3 or earlier. At first glance, it will be easy to mistake the new Apple Watch SE for the 2020 model. Like its predecessor, the new SE is available in an aluminum finish and comes in 40 and 44mm options. What has changed, however, is the SE's color choices. You'll get to choose between Midnight, Starlight, and Silver, while the 2020 version comes in Silver, Space Gray, and Gold. Apple also redesigned the back of the watch with a new finish that more closely matches the Apple Watch's casing. It's a nice touch that makes the new SE feel more premium, but it's only noticeable when the watch isn't on your wrist. The Watch SE lacks the larger screen found on the Series 8 and Series 7, which for the most part didn't make much of a difference. Inside the Apple Watch SE is Apple's S8 processor, the same chip that powers the Series 8. This makes the SE feel snappy and smooth overall. Apps launched quickly, and Siri was able to recognize my speech right away. Apple says the new SE is 20% faster than its predecessor, and the upgrade is noticeable. But what's really significant about the SE gaining the Series 8's processor is that it future-proofs the SE to some degree. New features coming to future versions of watchOS will likely work on the 2022 SE since it runs on Apple's newest processor. In the past, certain features haven't been available on older watches because of their aging hardware, even if that model supported the overall software update. Hand washing detection, for example, is only available on the Series 4 and higher, even though the Series 3 supported Apple's watchOS 7 software. There's good news and then there's bad news when it comes to battery life. First, the bad. The Apple Watch SE and Apple Watch Series 8 each have the same 18-hour battery life as their predecessors. Now the good news. Apple's adding a low power mode to the Apple Watch. There's even better news for current Apple Watch owners. It'll be available for the Series 4 and later. Low power mode limits the Apple Watch's sensors and turns off certain features like the always-on display for watches that support it, automatic workout detection, and background heart rate measurements to preserve battery life. The other major new addition coming to the Apple Watch SE, Series 8, and Ultra is the ability to detect car crashes. Apple upgraded the accelerometer and gyroscope inside its new watch lineup to enable this feature. The company also says its crash detection algorithm is based on data from professional crash test labs that simulate head-on, rear-end, side impact, and rollover accidents. Apple's also bringing improvements to the Apple Watch's Compass app that should make it easier to navigate unfamiliar areas and mark points of interest. Two new features, Backtrack and Waypoint, are coming to the Series 6 and later. The Apple Watch SE and Apple Watch Series 8 have a lot in common when it comes to activity tracking. Both watches are swim-proof, support the same variety of exercise modes, offer sleep tracking, and can measure heart rate and your cardio fitness level. You'll also get notifications for high and low heart rates and irregular heart rhythms on both watches. Where the two watches really differ is in their health monitoring capabilities. Unlike the Series 8 and Series 7, the Apple Watch SE can't take an ECG from your wrist or measure blood oxygen saturation levels. It also doesn't have temperature sensing. Whether these emissions matter depends on your needs and what you're looking for in a smartwatch. At $250, the Apple Watch SE is a compelling choice if you don't want to spend $400 or more on a new Apple Watch. The new model's about $30 less expensive than the previous Watch SE, but $50 more than the Apple Watch Series 3, which used to be the cheapest watch in Apple's lineup. That extra $50 gets you a much faster processor, support for Apple's watchOS 9 software, a larger screen, fall detection, and more. The Apple Watch SE is the best choice for those who just want a smartwatch for receiving iPhone notifications on their wrist, tracking workouts and sleep, and using features like Apple Pay.